This is a game I had when I was a kid, and my mom, I guess, bought it for me for a gift or something, but like I couldn't remember the name of the game, and I wasn't even sure if like I actually played it and owned it, or if it was like a dream I had or something. It was like a little memory floating around in here till I saw somebody else review it, and I was like, that's that game! That's that game! And then when I was over at my wife's parents' house, digging through their old stuff in their garage, helping them clean up or something, I found the game. They had it from when my wife was little, and she graciously let me add it into the collection. But that game is MagMax on the NES, and I have it in a little protective cover. So this is like a horizontal shmup, and you know the story is like you're a flipping spaceship shooting things. Like I don't know what to say about it. You know, but it has some kind of interesting gameplay gimmicks. The game is split into two like floors. I won't say levels, like floors, an upper and a lower. And the upper level is like in this strange isometric view that's kind of hard to control and line up your shots. And the bottom level is in more of a traditional like horizontal scrolling shmup. But the upper level is much easier to like survive in, but harder to score. It's harder to hit the enemies. The lower level is full of all kinds of erratic enemies with strange behaviors and like nearly impossible bullet patterns and obstacles and stuff, but you can shoot them a lot easier. And so it's kind of this risk reward. You want to go for a higher score on the bottom, or do you want to hang out on the top? And you switch between them by like running over these gray teleporters, which are like the laziest looking gameplay sprites I've ever seen in a game. It's just like a gray oval. But you run over these like parts with your spaceship, and it transforms your ship into like a mech. So you can roll over like your torso, and it adds a torso, and you roll over some legs, and it gives you more firepower, but it also makes you a much bigger target. You can just see how big you are here. You also like can grab this, I mean, I don't even know what to call this. It looks like an old-timey camera that like shoots out a laser beam towards the floor on the top level and out in front of you on the bottom. I don't know what this is supposed to be, and it doesn't seem to really do anything, but these extra additions you have to your ship that make you bigger, that they also add as kind of like a shield. So if you get hit, you'll lose that part of your ship rather than just dying. The graphics you can see are nothing to write home about, to say the least. They are very primitive and very plain. And like I said, I don't play music in these videos because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But let me tell you this. The music on the top floor of this game is okay. It's short and repetitive. But the music on the bottom level is like a nightmare fever dream. It is the most insane thing. It's got like an Asian kind of modality to it. It sounds like traditional Asian music you would hear maybe from like mainland China in the early 1900s, mixed with carnival music, and then it's sped up to the point where it sounds like an old modem firing up. I've never heard anything like it, and it's almost unlistenable. But at the same time, it's so bizarre, you kind of have to listen to it. So I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm just going to say it's a wash, but you should experience it. You know, and you can see it. Obviously, guys, this is not like a great game. This is not something that anybody's ever going to say is their favorite game. Really the only cool thing it has going for it, other than just like this memory I have in my mind of owning it, was that the boss is this like three-headed robot Hydra, and he looks flippin' awesome. He's just amazing looking, and one of the coolest looking bosses I've ever seen in an NES game. But, you know, what are the things that bring this game down? It only has 4 stages, and they all just kind of flow into each other, and they are, you know, the grassy field, the barren wasteland, the boring desert, and the city, I guess, enemy spaceship. I don't know what this is, but they just repeat. So after you finish stage 4, it just goes back to stage 1, and I guess gets a little harder. and it just, you know, it loops over and over with no ending. And you fight the same boss every single time, and he never changes. And when I was a kid, like, I remember having memories of this game and being like, this game goes on forever. It never occurred to me that the game just loops indefinitely or like infinitely. And now being older, I realized like, oh yeah, it just keeps going forever. And the goal is just to get a high score. There's no end to it. But like I said, even though I have memories of it, and it's kind of fond memories of owning the game and playing the game, I was not a big fan of it as a kid, and I did not play it much. Obviously, if I had, I would have remembered the name. And I'm still not a fan now. You know, I got the 1 credit clear on this game. I played all the way through the first 4 stages on my first try and almost completed the second loop. And, you know, that's not great for a game to be like that right off the bat, that you can just, you know, plow right through it with little to no effort, especially if you stay on that top level. And so, you know, you can have 15 or 20 minutes worth of fun with this one, but that's about all you're going to get. And this game looks and it kind of feels to me like something that should be on the MSX computer from like the early 80s. But, you know, 15 minutes and you've seen everything this game has to offer. Heck, watching this video, you've seen everything this game has to offer. So MagMax, my copy's kind of torn up. It's not my childhood copy, but I'm still happy to have it. Not a great game. Actually, it's a bad game. Unfortunately, MagMax is like a 3 out of 10. It's pretty awful.